Hey everybody, welcome back. Gonna give you 3 quick updates this morning since I've obviously been really busy moving and unpacking and getting the family's driver's licenses and bank accounts. It's been overwhelming. Those who've moved understand that. I apologize for not being here as much, but family comes first. I want to give you 3 updates, videos that I would have done in the last couple days. I'm trying to play catch up. The first one we're gonna do is a state that has good and bad bills being considered. The first state we're going to go to is Delaware. And I have some notes on these because there's a bunch of different bills and I want to be accurate. But the Delaware House Administration Committee is considering 2 bills which look to expand target-rich environments for criminals. What do I mean? Well, gun-free zones. We all know that gun-free zones are basically where like 90% of all of the mass shooting incidents in this country occur because criminals can pretty well be assured that there's nobody going to shoot back there because most people follow the law. And this law is a terrible law. The National Gun-Free Zone Act, if you aren't aware, was actually penned by Senator Joe Biden. So the 2 bills are HB 201 and HB 202. They both want to expand gun-free zones. Listen to this craziness. 201 would prohibit possession of firearms within 1,000 feet of school property, public or private. Now, that's 24 hours a day. So keep that in mind as well. There are exceptions for concealed carry permit holders who have, store vehicles in their car, or people who possess firearms on private property that is not school property. So like if you're in a budding residence or something like that. But if you have it in your car, you have to have locked containers or in a locked rack in your vehicle. Safe storage for vehicles is attached to this. 202 would prohibit firearms at polling places 2 hours before the election to 2 hours after polls close. And that includes early voting days. So if your state's like Massachusetts, I don't know if Delaware does it, but if Delaware's like Massachusetts, where they have like 2 weeks or even a month of early voting, that would create a gun-free zone bubble umbrella for that whole time that the polls, like the clerk's office, is open 2 hours before, 2 hours after. And this includes ballot drop-off locations, which are always scattered amongst cities. So this would create a huge umbrella of 1,000 feet from that box, 1,000 feet from that box, and I bet they placed them all 999 feet away from each other. 2 bad bills in Delaware, but there's also 1 good bill being considered, and that's their constitutional carry or permitless carry bill, which is SB 85, and tomorrow the Senate Judiciary Committee will be hearing that. So if you want to support that bill, let them know, and if you want to burn up the phone lines against HB 201 and 202, do that as well in Delaware. The next state is Connecticut. Now, I get a lot of people in Connecticut who watch this channel because I lived on the border of Connecticut for a very long time. I did a lot of things in Connecticut. And HB 6667 is Governor Lamont's response to not just Bruin, but to gun owners in general. So Connecticut, this bill has made it through the House by a vote of 96 to 51, and through the Connecticut Senate just 3 days ago, 24 to 11. It's now on Governor Lamont's desk, and he is going to sign it. This will become law. The CCDL, the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, will fight this. My friend Holly is the commander there, and I will have a link in the description below if you want to join CCDL and help support them to fight this unconstitutional gun grab. Some of the things that this bill does, and I've mentioned this in 2 other videos already, so I'm not going to go deep dive on the bill, but 6667 increases their assault weapon ban. Well, Connecticut had others, and Connecticut had items that were grandfathered after the last assault weapon ban I think it was 10 years ago. Well, this now requires registration of those items and to ban those as well. It does other terrible things, but that's the biggest one. And then prohibition on open carry. I forgot that. Prohibition on open carry. Now, there's a lot of people that's going to anger right there. But 6667. Governor's about to sign it. Support CCDL if you want this fought, because I know Holly and the crew are going to get busy. The next one is Hawaii. Now, the Governor Green in Hawaii just signed on Friday their Bruin response bill, their carry killer bill is what it's being referred to. And it does everything that the New York bill did that is currently being sued in court in 5 different cases. I get a lot of people who ask, Jared, how come there's no update on New York? Well, guys, because the judges, they dropped their decision, and I use drop because that's going to piss people off too. The judges drop their decision when they drop the decision. They are not beholden to a deadline. So when it does come down, I will let you know. If you want to stay in the loop on New York, then subscribe to this channel right down below. But in Hawaii, this bill would add sensitive places where people could not carry to include schools, government buildings, public transit, very more likely to get or to be face to face with criminals. It's usually public transit, organized public gatherings, and a whole lot more. It's a terrible bill, and it's SB 1230. So that's 3 quick updates. Well, actually more bills than that, but 3 quick states. I hope that you got a little something out of this. And if you don't live in these 3 states, then please like the video and share it so more people see it. And chances are when you share it, people in these states get to see it, because YouTube is not being friendly with letting out information on the Second Amendment, more so even recently because of this ATF ruling. My channel has, double check your subscriptions if you want to stay in the know with anything on the Second Amendment, whether it's litigation or legislation or anything in between, no matter where it happens in this country. Subscribe to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. I bring you that news every single day, often multiple times a day. So subscribe to stay in the know, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care.